This has been a very different year in the schools, among our teachers and staff of our Catholic schools. We often hear the expression, "We are schools that make a difference." And so true. Since we believe that faith, hope, and all the other virtues are important in the education of our children, we do this as well as we can. Parents send their children to our schools with the great promise that they will learn the truths of their faith, taught by the women and men of faith. Such a task demands such love and service from our teachers and staff, and especially during this pandemic period in our world. During this year, teachers have been asked to teach and be flexible for in-school and virtual teaching, back and forth, and so many everyday changes from our government for the safety of our children, teachers, and staff. These changes demand so much energy on the part of teachers, and it just doesn't seem to end. Encouragement and appreciation go hand in hand when it pertains to the daily challenges asked of our teachers and staff in our schools. Your relentless goal of teaching the good and just ways of the Catholic faith to our children has endless consequences. Parents, I know, are indeed thankful for your dedication. Of course, our schools' teachers are the missionaries of faith by their action and by their words. And so they inspire the students. Our Holy Father reminds us that love is a leap of the heart. It brings us out of ourselves and creates a bond of unity and peace. Love is a gift that gives meaning to our lives and helps us see these children, these students, as brothers and sisters being nurtured by faith and hope.
We are called, we are chosen, we are Christ for one another. We are promised to tomorrow while we are for Him today. We are sign, we are wonder, we are sower, we are seed. We are harvest, we are hunger, we are question, we are creed. Then where can we stand justified? In what can we believe? No one else but Christ who suffered, nothing more than Christ who rose, who was justice for the poor, who was rage against the night, who was hope for peaceful people, who was light. We are called, we are chosen, we are Christ for one another. We are promised to tomorrow while we are for Him.
There is a wonderful reading from Isaiah which I would like to share with you. It says, "The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and His understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Those who hope in the Lord will indeed renew their strength." My friends, it is so easy to feel overwhelmed these days. There are so many things that find a way to steal our hope and cause us to doubt that there is a good future ahead. Yet our God promises that He has plans for us that are of a good future and hope. Let us all continue to have that hope and stay firm in our faith as we remember that the light of Christ dispels the darkness. We must never give up on ourselves or each other. Yes, even though we sometimes find all these changes in our routine as very frustrating, those are the times when we have to say to ourselves that the most fundamental need of all is the need for meaning. And as teachers, vice principals, principal staff, you have meaning to our students. And indeed, you give that meaning by your love and service to these students. Recently, I have finished reading a book by Jonathan Sacks titled Celebrating Life. He was a head rabbi in London, England, and had such wisdom, and he teaches us. As teachers, we sometimes underestimate the talent that God gives us. He says, to thank God is to know that I do not have less because my neighbor has more. Through prayer, I know that I am valued for what I am. I learn to cherish what I have rather than be diminished by what I do not have. He also said, who is rich? He asked not one who has much, but the person who rejoices in what they have. And you as teachers and staff have so much. Again, he said, remember what a blessing is. A blessing is an expression of the miracle of simple things. As teachers, principals, and staff, you have been given so much to instill Christian values into the lives of our students. The person who is honored is the one who honored others, and that is what you do in Catholic education. Happiness is not made by what we own. It is what we share. And in our schools, you share your faith in everything you do.
We are sign, we are wonder, we are soul and we are seed, we are harvest, we are hunger, we are question, we are creed.
A teacher friend of mine, Maureen Dugo, now retired, shares some wisdom from her own experience as a teacher in our Catholic high school. First of all, Mo, as many of you may know, is a very vocal person. And she proclaims our valued teachers as the heroes in this past year, more so the unsung heroes. She said, sometimes we fail to realize how important our faith is in our lives. She tells the story of a November Monday morning at her school when the chaplain told her about the sudden death of a father of two of her students, the older girl being on her basketball team. We prayed during our morning announcements for him and his family in the days that followed. We also called together the following day students from the sons and daughters' homeroom to arrange for them to attend the funeral via buses. I talked to our basketball team about the arrangements to attend the funeral and support our teammate. And that Friday, many students and staff attended the funeral mass. The grieving family sat in the front pew, and at communion time, at the saddest time they had ever experienced, they watched their classmates and teammates pass by on the way back from communion. They saw a few of their teachers and coaches, principal and vice principals, sharing their sadness and joining in their shared faith. Our faith is with us always, including those times when it is your faith that gets us through and saves us. As we move on with this pandemic situation before us, please know that your presence, in whatever manner that may be, is noble and life-giving to the students. Your faith and hope will indeed sustain you in the hidden struggles before you, but always know that God is found in relationship, communication, in words that bind. He is there with us, for us, and in us. And by your love of teaching, you bring that truth and that peace to your students. And we thank you so much.
All will be well, and all will be well. All manner of things will be well.